So I hope video is live. Let me just check for once. Oh yeah, we are live. Okay. Okay. So I hope. Okay. So in the previous lecture, what exactly we did, just let's have a quick look and see where we were in the previous part. Okay. Yeah. So in the previous video, we have learned many concepts. Okay. Starting off with the variables. We even understood what are variables. Then we went on to the types over here. In that we had basic types like, numbers, booleans, characters, strings, and arrays. Okay. After that, we were even, let me just, click it once. So, yeah. What exactly we did, we even understood what were the operators over here. We understood what were exactly the lists, okay, that we were getting output over here. And inside the list also, we have understood many things, talking about the map as well. We even checked out the map function, okay. So let's carry forward that particular thing and we will be moving forward and understanding the different concepts as well, okay. So let's get started. Starting off with the first thing that we will be doing in the today's lecture will be conditions. We will be understanding what are the conditions that you can use. For example, if else conditions. Okay. So talking about in Kotlin, let me just comment this line out for now. Okay. So yeah, starting off about the comments. So Kotlin supports the usual logical operators from mathematics, that is less than or equals to, greater than or equals to or not equals to. Okay, these are the basic conditions that Kotlin supports, and you can even use these conditions to perform different actions for different decisions. Okay, so Kotlin basically has different commands as well. Conditionals like if, okay, and it has an else, then it has an else if, and it even has a when. Okay, so what exactly is the different use? If we uses if when you have to specify a block of code that has to be executed, okay, if a specific condition is true. Otherwise we will say else, and then we have else if to specify a new condition to test if the first condition is false. Okay, then similarly we have a when condition. It is used when you have to specify many alternative blocks of code that has to be executed. Okay, so these are the basic conditionals that you can use in Kotlin. These things are very, very important when you are understanding Kotlin as a language. Why? Because when we are creating a application, suppose you are creating a front end application and you want to see that a person is logged in or not, so you have to use a condition that if login dot something something backend code will be there, and login dot if the user is logged in or if the user has successfully entered its credentials, then you have to pass it to the home screen. Otherwise, you have to reload or you have to re-show the login page or sign up page or all these things. So these are the basic conditions that you have to make sure. So that's why understanding conditions is very important part of Kotlin. Okay. So let's understand how can we use if condition. So what you can do, you can write a condition over here as if. So if inside of it the condition which you want to use or something like that. So what I can write in this case, I'll write if 20 is greater than 18, which actually is true. Okay, so in this case, what you have to write print ln over here, and inside the print ln, what you can write 20 is greater than 8. Okay, so 20 is greater than 8, like that, or I'd say 18. Yeah. So that's a basic condition. What it says, yeah. Let me do one thing. Let me just run this command and see what exactly is giving us the output over here. It's getting executed. It takes a moment or something because we have just initially launch the Android Studio, right? So it takes a little bit of time in the first go. Then as soon as you will be running the queries in multiple goes, it will be absolutely fine. Okay. So I'm sure my voice is audible to each and every person over here, and there is no issue with the sound as well, right? Yeah. So do just comment me down that whether it's my sound is clear or not. Okay. Yeah. So as you can see that we have successfully got the conditions over here as well. Okay. That it is true. So yeah, 20 is greater than 18. That's why it's true. But what you can do, you can even add on many values or not. Okay, so you can even specify some of the values like val x equals to 100 and val y equals to 150, suppose. Okay, then you can add a condition that if x is greater than y, then you print this condition. Okay, else what you can write? You can else put something else over here. Okay, so else you can add a println, and I'll write what condition does not satisfy, like that. So you can even add on this particular line of code or not. So if I hit run, as soon as I'll click run over here, it's see condition does not satisfy because obviously the condition is not true over here. Okay, so these are the basic things. Okay, so what are we doing? We are using an else condition over here. If uh, else condition when the if condition is not true. Okay, so if the first condition is true, then it will be executed. Otherwise, the else condition will run. And these are the basic conditions operators that you can use in Kotlin. Okay. Now you even have else if condition if you have some different values also. So I'll write else if inside this I'll add another condition. What I can add over here, if y is greater than x, then I can write something else. Then I can write println uh, y. So I can even write dollar y like that. So this is the dollar y. Y is greater than y is greater than x, so dollar x like that. You can even run this particular condition if that is true. Okay, so in this case, when this particular condition will be run, we will be getting a different set of output. So all the conditions will be running and you will be getting, see, 150 is greater than 100, obviously. So that's the case. So these are how basically the condition operators works. Okay. So I hope you have understood. These are just the basic concepts, right? You can even, add a lot of difficulties or a lot of things over there. Like what? Let me comment this full line of code and let's come a little bit down over here and let's quickly create a function. So function main like that. Inside this main function, I have certain conditions. So I'll write val time equals to 20. Then I have val greeting. So greeting equals to that if, okay, inside this I'll write if the time is less than 18. Okay, then you have to give what? Then you have to write good day. Okay. Or in else condition, I'll write what? Good evening. Okay. So these are the basic conditions that we have stored. Now I'll just print what? I'll write print ln, and inside the print ln, I'll write the greeting. Okay. So that's the greeting. Now, if I will run this simple line of code, it will obviously give us the condition which has been stored. So what exactly happening here? As you can see, the time is 20. That means it's night time, right? 8 o'clock. So obviously 8 is bigger than 6 over here, right? So that's why good evening was stored in this particular variable. And when we printed that variable, that value was printed over here. Okay. So these are just the basic things that you can make sure, and it will be helping you out when you want to store multiple values into a condition, right? So that you can use in your own application, which is suppose you have created a weather app. Obviously, you can use APIs as well in that case. But if you just want to create a simple app where you are getting time from the APIs or from the system, but you want to make sure that what exactly are the greetings. So you can create all these conditions and you can store that in the variable as well. Okay. So these are just the basic conditions. Now let's understand exactly when can we use the when conditions. Okay. So the when expression is kind of similar to the switch statement which is there in Java. Okay. So how exactly it works here? The when variable is evaluated once, and the value of this is compared to the value of each branch. Okay. You can just have a basic look. I'll be doing what? I'll be creating a particular condition over here, when condition. Okay. So I'll come right here. Now inside this, I'll write val day equals to 4. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll write val result, and then I'll write a condition that when, now but when will have, it will check the day. Okay. So it's going to check the day. So what I can write 1, if it's 1, then you can say what? Monday. Like that. Okay. When it's 2, you can say it as Tuesday, like that. Okay. And when it's 3, you can say it's Wednesday. When it's 5, Thursday, like that. Then 5, I'll add Friday. Similarly, like I'm just adding the basic values over here that you can use. Then 6. So let's do one thing. Let's just keep it a 6. So Saturday, like that. So these are the basic conditions. And what I'll be writing else condition over it. Else, what I can do, invalid. So invalid, like that. So we have created an else condition as well. Now what I'll do here, I'll write a print ln condition. Now inside this print ln, we will be printing the result. So let's hit run and let's see what exactly you are going to get the output. Okay, so let me just cut from there and stick there. Yeah. So that you can directly see the output again. So yeah, let's hit run, and we are running over it, and you can see it's Thursday because 4 is Thursday. If I'll hit 7 over here, then it will give me as an invalid output. Yeah, so these are the when conditions. It's exactly doing what? It's checking each and every day. So it will check day 1 if it's Monday, no. If it's Tuesday, no. If it's Wednesday, no. Then it's Thursday, yes, it's Thursday, so it's going to print that. Okay. So these are the things that you have to make sure when you are using a when condition. Okay. Now let's move forward, and you can even try out, your own little bit of things which you can do. Now let's understand what are type checks and typecast. So what exactly is typecasting over here? What I'll be doing here, I'll write an if, and typecasting is used in is operator. Okay, so in Kotlin we have an is operator and is not operator. Like it's like is not performs the runtime when you have not, not kind of thing. Like so, it's if some particular string is in a form of string, then we'll check if data type is string, or if it's not, then it's not a string, like that. So let me give you an example that in that way you will be understanding it in a much appropriate manner. Okay. So let me just remove this from there and remove this as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write that if obj, okay, so object is string. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to print obj dot length. Okay. So you can print obj.length like that. And after this, what I'll write if obj is, actually I'll have to write like this, not is string. Okay. So in this case, we are just going to write that it's not a string like that. You can even write the same set of code as not of the same condition which we have written over here. Okay. It's like if you have studied that and operators, nor operators, then it will be, little easy for you to understand. So we'll paste exactly here. So you can write it in this way as well. So I'll hit, yeah. Now inside this, what you can write something else like print like that. So print ln inside this, I'll write not a string. Okay, so like that. So you can add this, and then there will be a final conditions which will be an else. And inside the else, we are going to write print obj object basically dot length like that. Okay, so object dot length. So by this, what you can exactly do over here is you can get the length as well of the project. But in this case, you have to firstly specify object obj over here, which in this case I have not done it as of now. So if you will be defining it, then it will be an easy. So I write val obj equals to string, or I'll write hello world. So what exactly it says here is check for instances always true, like that, like that. Yeah, you can even use it in this format. So if true, print object.length, and if what, you can write check it over here. Uh, yeah, if false, then print not a string like that. So you can even run it in this format as well, and you will be getting your output as well. Now print ln like that. Yeah, so print ln. So yeah, so you can see that we have got the conditions and it was checking the condition. And in this case, we had hello world equals to true, and you can see we have got the outcast. Okay. So there we have the casting of any strings as well, or any sort of integers and all. So these are used to typecast and type checks. Now you can even use smart cast over here. So what exactly is a smart cast? So in most cases, you don't need to, explicit case operators in Kotlin, because the compiler tracks the is checks, and obviously, as you saw, it changes into the true or false statements. Okay, but you can insert safe cast automatically when there is something necessary. Okay, like what I'll tell you, I'll write a function over here that is a demo. Okay, so inside this demo function, I'll write x, and I'll write any like that. Okay. Now what I'll write over here is inside this quote, I'll write that if the particular string x is string like that, which obviously is, as you can see, we have denoted the x value as any. So inside of this, what I'm going to write print x dot length like that. Okay. So you can even get the length in these cases. And what will be done is that X will be automatically casted to string. So let me just do one thing. Let me change this from there to here. Okay, so I'll just like that. And most probably it should run properly. Let me see whether it's going to run or not. Yeah. So it was unable to find main over here. Now, if I have added main successfully, now it will work without any issues. Okay. So let me again rerun it. What it says, class could not found module. Okay, so Kotlin crash course app.main. So in this case, what you can do over here is you can cut that from there and we can paste it right here. Or you can do it like this format as well. So x equals to any like that. And now if I will hit run, you will be seeing that we will be getting our output and the length will be printed what it says over here. Now, obviously, I have not specified the variable. Yeah, you can see we have got the output as 3 because you have 3 length of it. Okay. So these are the basic smart cast, typecast, and all these things that you should be knowing. Okay. And there are some null label cast operators as well. So, but as of now, we don't really think that it will be necessary. Now, let's just head back to loops in Kotlin. Okay? So, how exactly are loops and what loops does Kotlin has or it follows and all these things that should be asked. Okay. So talking about the conditions, as we learned that Kotlin supports is condition, if else condition, and when conditions. But in terms of loop, it has a while loop as well as a for loop also. Okay. So what we are going to do here is we are going to start off with the while loop as a condition. Okay. So I'm going to comment this part over, and we are going to try loops. Okay. In Kotlin like that. So you can you can even use the loop when you are trying to perform some sort of operations on multiple bases. Suppose you want to print some simple images for multiple times in a dummy application. You can even use as a loop. You can even use as a loop to call out a function multiple times when you are using a full stack application. Okay, so these are the basic things that you can even do using the loops as well. Let's do what? Let's start by understanding the first loop, that is a while loop. Okay, in this case. First of all, let me answer one of the questions that might be coming into your mind. That why exactly we are learning all these things? Is these things are necessary? Is it relevant? See, when you are creating a application, when you are trying to learn app development or web development, you should be knowing the basic fundamentals of a language. Okay. Suppose you want to learn Kotlin or you want to build an applications using Kotlin, you should be having a knowledge that what exactly Kotlin can do, what are the basic things that Kotlin can, perform in its compiler or you can do with Kotlin. Okay. So that's why the reason I am taking our time to make you understand variables, values, loops, if else conditions and all these things. These things are important in their own perspective, but you should be having some basic idea regarding it when you are learning Android development. Okay. So that's the reason why we are understanding and why we are learning all these things. Okay. So talking about loops, let's understand the while loop. So while loop like that. So what exactly is a while loop? While loop has a while and a condition. So I can write variable I equals to 0 and then I can add a condition. So while I is less than 5, we have to print ln print set println I'll print I, and then you can write I plus plus, which will be incrementing the value of I. But as you know, we have to store this into a function to make it run. So I'll write function main. Okay. And this code will be stored inside this function. So I'll write cut, sorry, like that. So I'll just cut this particular line from here and I'll just paste it right here. Now, if I will hit run, you will be seeing that we will be getting a full sequence of lines like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So you can see that we are getting line over here. You can even you know create multiple patterns over here or multiple lines over here so that you can create patterns using loops as well in this thing. But that won't be necessary, so we won't be doing that. Now we have a loop. While loop, what exactly it does is while loop will only run when you have a condition is true. Okay. But if you want, suppose you want that your loop should run at least once, and after that it should stop or it should check the condition. That case we use as a do while loop over here. So I'll use as a do while loop. For that, what I'm going to write do. After this do, we have to enter the condition, and after the condition, that will be checking our value. So do what print ln. So this language is case sensitive, so you have to make sure that you are writing each and every words in a proper manner. Okay. So print, this is the number dollar I. Okay. So this is the basic condition till loop is going to run. Okay. So in this case, I have written the do condition. Now I'll add a while over here. So inside this, I'll write run till I is less than 5. So let's try to run this code again. And let's see what output we are getting. Okay, so what exactly happened over here is this loop was running again and again, again and again. Because as soon as this condition used to get over, it used to again get run. It should get run. So what you can do instead of this, you change the value to A, and you can even add a val over here that A equals to anything like A equals to suppose 6, and you have to write variable is like that so that it can be incremented and the value should be changed. Now if I will run this statement again, you can see that uh, we are again getting the output like that. So if I will run this loop again, you will be getting to see that we are getting our own output properly as well. Don't know why don't know why I'm doing this things again and again. Yeah, you can see that we are getting the output as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 as well. So instead of 6, we would have just changed the condition to 0, and if you would have again run the same code, you would have got this full answer. Like yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So this is how do while loop works exactly. Okay. Then you even have a while loop over here. Okay, a while loop which can sorry, for loop which can run for particular conditions. When you have some sort of conditions over it, at that particular case you can run for loops. Okay, so the for loops exactly iterates through anything that you provides an iterator. Okay, so this is equivalent to the for each loops in languages like C sharp. The syntax for loop is something like this, where what it will be, it's like for, and then you have to enter your conditions and you have to input the value. Okay, so I can write it like for I in I 1 dot dot 4. Okay, so it's exactly saying me what? It's exactly saying me that for I in this particular condition, and we have what I is equals I equals to 1 or I less than equals to 4, like that it's telling me. And for that particular condition, print ln, and you are going to get your output in the format of the variable which you are going to get. Okay. So let me hint for, and then you can even enter another for loop over here. So I can write for I in 6. Okay. Then you can write down to step 2, 0. Step 2, like that, I can enter, and then we will be printing ln. Okay, so print ln like that. And inside this print ln, we will again printing the if conditions. So you can run this loops in different formats as well, and you can even use it to let me change it to v, because we would already have a variable up there called as I. So now if I will run this particular code, you will be seeing that we already are getting our while loop and do while loop running. And we have a for loop like 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6, 4, 3, 2, 0. So what exactly is happening in the conditions over here? Let me just minimize it for now, and let me show you where conditions I'm talking about. Let me just comment this out. And yeah, in this case, you are just seeing that the for loop is directly going from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. But in this case, what exactly is happening is it's going reverse from 6 to 0 in step 2 format. Step 2 means by 2 steps, like 6 to step 4 to step 2 to step 0. Like that, this for loop is working. That's why it's giving us that particular kind of output. Okay. Now, what you can do, you can even, iterate in indexes over here, so arrays over here in this loop. So I can write what I can write it like that. Like for I in array dot index, first you have to initialize an array, which you can do it. After this, what you will be doing, you will be getting to print that array as well. Okay. So I hope till now you guys are understanding what we have done over here. Yeah. So we have successfully understood what exactly is for loops. Now, what I can do here is when you are using indexes, you can have multiple things as well. You can use this the index array indexes and their values to get the exact output and all these things. Okay. Now there are breaks and continues in loops. Okay. So let's understand what exactly is breaks and continue in loops. Okay. What exactly I'm going to do here is I'm going to write that in a in a particular condition. What you can do over here is you can run break and continue. Okay. So over here, the break statement, what exactly does here is the break statement usually is used to jump out of a loop. It is, when you have to jump out after certain conditions, that's the reason when you can do. So in that above code, which we have over here, right? Yeah, yeah. So this is just a simple while loop over here, right? So what I can do here is suppose I am running this loop, but now I want that instead of printing I can write something else as well. Like I can just enter some, garbage value, so number, roll number like that. Now what I have to do here is I have to check some certain conditions, like if I equals to 6. At that particular condition, I need you to break. So what will happen after this 6? The loop will not work. Okay. It will be just simply not working and give us, it will be exited from the condition. Let me just comment these lines as well so that you will be getting a proper output. So let's hit run once again. And you can see that we are getting 0 roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But after 5, you can see as we satisfied this condition, so it has break and it has left the loop. Okay. So similarly to the break, we have continue. So what continue does, continue statements breaks one iteration in a loop if a specific condition occurs and continues from the next iteration in the loops. Okay. So what exactly if you suppose in this particular example, you want that if I equals to 6, continue like that. Now, if I will run the same code, what you will see that it has just skipped the sixth value, but after that, exactly, just it has just skipped the first value over here and rest value is continued. Okay, like let me change my example and let me give you an output proper. So what I'll do here is in this while loop, I'll add this condition above. What exactly happened that we were getting the condition, we were checking the condition later, but we want that this time the condition should be checked first, then the loop should run. So if I will now run the code, you can see that we are getting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Where is the command code over here? Yeah. So if I equals to 6, we are writing continue. Okay. So after this continue, it should technically not run. Let me check once again. Okay. So I'll hit run over here. Yeah. So now you can see in this case what exactly happened. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. It has just skipped a single version, like when the condition was 4 or something like that. It has just skipped that particular condition, and at that particular time after that, it is running exactly the same. Okay. Now let's move on a little forward and let's understand a little bit parts of arrays in this. Okay, what exactly you can do in arrays, how you can store the values. There are just a little bit more concepts left, okay, like arrays, ranges, and functions. And after that, we will be just having a little bit brief regarding the classes in Kotlin. And after that, we will be moving on to creating UIs using all these functions that we were creating or we were creating the values. By using this, we will be, moving on and creating cool UIs and applications using Kotlin. So in this, we have successfully done the with loops, completed the loops, and we just have left with arrays over here. And you can create arrays. It's a very simple things what you can do in arrays. So arrays are exactly kind of like a list which we learned in the previous video. So arrays are used to store multiple values in a single variable. Instead of creating specific variable or separate variable for each value, you can create an array. Use of array of like that. You remember when we were learning, we used to write list of. Similarly, we have array of. Okay, so array of, array list of like that, and you can place values in a comma separated list inside it. So what we are going to do here is we are going to call out a value of cars, okay, and we are going to store, suppose let's take vehicles. So inside this vehicles, what we are going to write array of. Now inside this array of we can write various brands like Tata, you can write, okay. Then you can write Volvo, suppose. So Volvo. Then after that, you can even add a Ford. Then you can even add Harkins. Okay. So this is just a basic simple array that we have created. Now the remaining things will be exact the same. You will be having all the values similar, like you can write println. Okay, so to print the cars, or in this case, will be capital vehicles, and you can even specify the indexes. Like I need first one, so println first like that. So it will be giving us what output exactly? It will be giving us the output as Volvo. Let me just remove the code from there so that it will be easy for us to run. So yeah, you can see that we will be getting output as Volvo, and then you can add 4 like that. Actually, it won't work with 4 because we don't have 4 values. If I'll run 3, then it will be getting Bharat. Okay. What you can do here is you can even, change the values to a specific element. And by referring its index number. For example, in this case, what I'm going to write here is I'm going to write vehicle. Inside the vehicle, what is the condition number 3? So yeah, let's do 2. So 2 will be changed the values to, let's change the value of 2 into a show data. What? Okay, so this is a drug brand which is used, right? So what I'm doing, I'm going to just change the value to Ashok Leyland over here, and we are going to run it properly. So let's hit run over here. Okay, so as soon as we will click run, you can see we have to write the index over here, and most probably we will be getting our code. See, I instead of running, I actually started debug. That's why it started to throw me that message. And you can see that we have successfully created this array and updated its value as well. Okay, so you can add many values in it, many things in it, and you can still get the values. Now, what I'll do is, if I need to size, these are the basic commands. Whoever has a prior knowledge in programming languages will be easily getting to know what all these are commands like vehicles.size or vehicles indexes and all these things. Okay, so you can even add some basic conditions like what I'm going to add. I'm going to write if Volvo like that. So Volvo in if Volvo in vehicles, then you print what? Then you can print ln, like Volvo is present. Okay. Else you can write something else like any conditions which you want to write. You can write it as print company not found. Okay. So these are the basic things which you will be running. If I'll hit a run, you will be seeing that we are getting Volvo is present and you are getting the 4 because of this print size. Obviously, Volvo is present in the list. That's the main reason why it's giving us that output. Now you can even run out loops through an array. Okay, that's just a very simple command that you have to write. Like I'll write for vehicles for x over here x in vehicles. Okay. Then what I'll be writing a condition. I'll be writing println and instead of this, I'll write x. So it's just basically it will give us the all the values stored in an array and it will give us the output. So if I'll hit run, you will be seeing that you are getting this over here. So let me do what print ln instead of ln, I'll write okay, like that. Dollar x and then some trace. Like that. Now, if I will hit run over here, you will be seeing that you will be getting our output in the form of array. So yeah, you can see that we are getting Tata, Volvo, Ashok Leyland, Bharat Benz, and 4. 4 because this line was also changed into that. Yeah, these are the basic things which you can check out, and you will be knowing in everything. Okay, so that's all about the loops and arrays in it. I hope you have understood what were loops, how exactly we were working with loops, and these are the basics which you really need, to start your journey with Kotlin. Because later on, when we will be creating a fully functional applications, you should be knowing the concepts that how exactly you can implement loops in that particular app using Kotlin, or how exactly you can implement, particular conditions, or you can create an array in which you can store, large amount of user data or values or everything. So these are the things that you have to make sure that you follows in this. Hi, Subodh, if I'm saying your name properly, right? Hello, hello. How are you? I hope everything is going great, right? So yeah, this is what exactly was loops, uh, variables, basic data types, operators, and all these things. You have to be make sure that you know all these things till now, till here to get great hold on Kotlin so that you can jump on to the development phase. So that is really important for you guys to have this. Okay. Now, if you still have any sort of doubts and queries, you can still comment out and I'll be replying it to you. Okay. And talking about this, so in this video, we have successfully completed these concepts. We still have some concepts left. That is an oops concept, and you can even understand about ranges as well. We will be covering that part in now. But in the next video, we will be understanding some things regarding oops concept. We will be practicing out some fundamentals so that till tomorrow, you guys will be having a great hold on these concepts so that from day after tomorrow or Monday we can start our development phase where we will be creating UIs and functions and all these things. So make sure that you have completed this video till now and you have successfully understood these concepts. Okay. Now, talking about range, I have just now told you that in loops you can write it like for x in like this. You can write 1 dot 3 like that. Okay, so these are the basic way by which you can write out the conditions. Okay. Now, what exactly this ranges tell you? Okay. You can give a range in a for loop by using double dots over here, as I have written. Okay, so in for in this like that 1 dot 3 it means from 1 till 3 like that. You can write. Let me cut it from there, and I'll just paste that code here, then it will be fine. So for x in 1 dot 5 like that. So this is the range that we are talking about over here. This is the range that it is equals to 1 and it should go all the way till 5 greater than or equals to 5. These are the things that is the range telling us. Okay. You can even create a range for numbers and you can even create a range for alphabets. Suppose uh, for characters in A like that, and it should go all the way till X like that. X, Y, Z. So let's do Z. So till Z, you can even print out the characters. So you will be getting your output as well. So if you will run the characters, you will be getting the output. Let me remove this code and let's hit run. Okay. So what error? Oh, sorry. Now it will not throw that error. Let's hit run. Yeah, you can see that it's printing A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. All the data has been successfully printed. So I'll just add these things into codes. Okay. So let me just add a code like this and dollar, and then you can just add a sign like this. Now, if you will run the code, you will be seeing that you will be getting all the data in the form of a line. So I have to remove that ln from there. So this is what a range is. Okay, you have to use double dots, and by using double dots, you're exactly getting the similar sort of output that we are talking about. Okay. Okay, so these are the basics of ranges. You, as I showed you, you can even uses ranges as well. Okay, and you can even use an in or operator, which we have already completed in the previous lectures. Okay. Let me just hold on a second and let me see whether we have any sort of comments or not. Okay, so yeah, so we have a comment which says that, sir, which concepts are important for development in app or design of app? Okay. So there are basic, things which you should be aware about, like basic Kotlin syntax, which we have successfully done, like if, when, for, or while. Then you have UI designs with XML. Okay. So you have to create XML layout files as well. And you even have activity and frame cycles. Okay, where you will be understanding, the basic life cycles of Android activities and fragments. This is very important as you should be knowing the state of app, like stateless or stateful, whether the app should interact with the user while clicking a button or it should not, like plain page or like that. Then you have navigations, recycler view, and adapters and all these things. And the final part will be, that API integration and performing CRUD operations, basic operation, create, read, update, delete, like that operations in the database as well. And the asynchronous programming should be also there. Okay, like uh, uh, there are some asynchronous tasks such as network request or database operations, which happens without breaking the main thread. So these are the basic things which are really, really important when you want to develop an app or particularly design an app. Okay. So I hope your doubt has been cleared by this. If anybody of you still have any sort of doubts, and then yeah, comment it below, and I'm watching that out. Yeah, so I think as of now, these are the pretty much doubts which everybody has. Still, if you will be having any doubts or if you want to reach me out, you can, connect with me on my Instagram. That is Samu2409, which is here. Okay, like that. Or if you want to reach me on GitHub, you can do that as well. I'll be there on GitHub as well if you have any doubts or something like that. Okay. So yeah, I hope you have understood what we have done in this video. This is my GitHub profile. If you like the content or if you want to see repositories or my work, you can just go follow me out over there and you can check my works as well over there. Okay. So yeah, this was pretty much it for this video. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share with your friends so that they can also start their Android development journey and they can start with the Kotlin series as well. Okay. So I will see you tomorrow where we will be understanding the OOPS concept. We will be reaching out some of the important key concepts which will be very important when we will be moving out in the development phase. Okay. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Till then, see you, have a great day and bye bye.